challenge accomplished for the week. All right, this is January 17th, the Ortelius Outreach meeting. And Sime, I'm going to leave it up to you.
I think one news that I recently saw that Tracy Miranda from CDF, they have joining the new venture, and somebody else, I don't know who is a new CDF Foundation manager or CTO, but last time I was on the call, and he is also on the call as well. So Tracy has done a wonderful job at the CDF Foundation, but we will miss him, miss her.
Yes, she is leaving. I don't know where she's going to, but I think she got a job with a startup. Not sure who's taking over the CD Foundation, but it doesn't impact us too much since we really are governed by the Technology Oversight Committee.
And I am hoping that I get the CDF ambassador going this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
were you able to get in touch with Garima at all?
Sime, do you know who Garima Buzzsprout is?
No. Can you share the email and we can talk or on that email as well if you have one?
Yeah. Let me pull it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll introduce you to the two of you. So I think the last outreach or the general community meeting, Steve shared a document on what we might do for the calendar for the office hours and for podcast. And I would like to talk about that today.
Yes, absolutely. So I think as we mentioned last Ortelius meeting, we have to sync those events that what is currently is the new events coming up. So we have to look at, in my calendar, I would obviously look at two big events when I schedule something like continuous delivery CDCon plus KubeCon, but that is very far away from us. And now we are approaching to the February, and we have to check those up. If something scheduled on this February in the community like DevOps.com or anything else, then we sync those with the Ortelius office hours plus the podcast as well. Or even we can arrange something related to the GitOps day on the February as well. So we can start the GitOps session on the next month. We can arrange some speakers who can talk about GitOps, and we can full-flash 2 or 3 hour or 4 hour of session on just particularly the GitOps technologies.
So let's go through here. I'm going to share this right now. Let's just see if we can't come up with it. Let's work through this then. There's the doc. Everybody should have access to it.
I'll drop the link in.
I just did.
Okay.
All right, and now I'm sharing the doc. If we look at the calendar, let's say the first thing that's happening is this week that I know of is Predict 2022. And that is done by devops.com. So we could do something on trends in 2022, which I would think would be GitOps, supply chain management, and chaos engineering. Those would be the three topics that I would think if we want to match it to predict trends to follow, I should say. And that we would want to do that probably first one would be February. So that would kind of follow the predict is this week. which means that we would look at what's happening in February. And I know in February is the DevOps Institute is doing their skill up days, and that's on SREs. But I don't know if there's any other big shows in February. Let me see, technical, let's see. Let's look at Linux Foundation and see if they have something that has a calendar for their for what they're doing. All right. All right, so the first things it looks like they're doing is an Academy Software Foundation has something on open source. So I think what we should do is where we can align with some of these bigger shows, we probably should try to. And I would say we would try to follow them instead of being at the same time. So let's say KubeCon is in September. We would do something around Kubernetes in October as a follow-up. And we could also potentially invite somebody who we know has attended the show, so they could talk about it in office hours and or at least in the podcast. So, for example, here we have KubeCon, Cloud Native Con in May. So in June, I would say we would put our outreach in June would be, let's see, it's be February, March, April, May, June. We might do, this would be Kubernetes and microservices, something like that. We'll call that June. But then we have to make sure that we are having conversations about areas in our expertise in particular. So we would probably want to sprinkle them in as well. So we can say for sure we're going to do something like this. This is, we'll just put this follows KubeCon EU. So let's just make these in bold that we know for sure that those would be the topics. A CD Foundation, the CDCon is in June, so we would follow that in July. So we would go here would be CI/CD. July. Follow CDCon. And when is FOSDEM? Does anybody know when FOSDEM is this year?
It's happening now.
Oh, it's this month.
Let me see. I have the link here for call for papers.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the actual event.
Yeah, it is February 5th and 6th.
So that would give us a topic for March, which would probably be do something in open source, right?
I think they had a CI/CD track as part of FOSDEM.
I would say we do something like that.
Here's the developer rooms. Here, let me drop you the schedule link real quick. So in the chat,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So, for the podcast is it already started off, or it's still the planning phase right now?
For these events here,
No, in general, is the podcast already up and running, or this is just what the plan for it is for the when it's going to start?
We've done a couple podcasts and we've done a couple office hours. And I think we have the technical pieces figured out, but we don't have a nice cadence going to say that we're going to do a podcast every month or in office hours every month type of thing. That's what we're trying to That's what we'd like to strive to, is my understanding.
Yes, because that way we can find speakers.
Mhm.
And we can, put a plan together for doing it and the dates so that we all know what we've got to get together.
Mhm.
And we
So
only,
will the host be changing for each session, or it will be like consistently the same person?
I'm guessing it could change. Sime, and there's a core team. So Sime, Sasha, and Sergio and Karam to some extent have been running this. So they're the kind of the four geek friends that have been pushing this. And I'm guessing that they would manage it for the most part, Sime being in charge specifically. But I think that if changing, so if you listen to on the podcast and any of these things, if we can create some consistent personalities, they become more popular. So I
Yeah.
would say that those four would change off and maybe have two hosts and then a guest, and then two hosts and a guest. So they would each if they could tag team, they would do 6 a year for each tag team. And I think that would be the funnest way to do it.
Definitely, because I recently started listening to a couple of podcasts, and like yet another DevOps podcast that's pretty popular, and they always make sure that there are multiple people coming in, and they invite people who have gone to multiple conferences, so that, and people who are having a lot of experience. So it's like, it's rather than being a podcast, it's more of a conversation between like 3 or 4 people, and that definitely pulls in a bigger audience rather than one or two people just asking each other questions.
Right, exactly. And then people begin getting comfortable with the banter between the people who are on a regular basis. It's kind of like a radio show, how radio show is defined.
Mhm.
I don't see anything for GitOps Summit for this year, which is weird.
I think it's happening on the same KubeCon in May. Before the KubeCon, then Asia, there's co-located events
Okay.
like GitOps, supply chain security, or other events. That's happening on the KubeCon, same day.
So we might, this is a message we really need to get out. And you said it's happening in May. Maybe we do this one in April then. And I'll just say precedes KubeCon EU. So that gives us February, March, and April. We got June. I don't know. Do we have, Sasha, do we have a lot of information on doing this Argo integration?
Not that I know of. I still have to finish the diagram with Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, and this is something we're supposed to be doing ourselves. This was supposed to be on our roadmap to get out. So I think Steve's gonna have to put together a project plan to make sure that we can get whatever we're gonna do out by April. And this could be an announcement as well.
I'm trying to get a client project off the table. It's it's like the 99% is done, but it's the 1% that still sort of hangs on to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna take this one out for now.
Yeah.
And then we know this one would work. So that gives us at least the first 6 months of the year.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And meanwhile, I have my own event that is in the March, Kubernetes Community Days, Pakistan, that we schedule it in the 15th of March. So now we have a room to share, for me, a room to share something that we are doing in the Ortelius community. So in March, I can align my own event with what we are doing. It's a getting started guide. So me and Aisha.
This is called this help us build a microservice catalog.
What was the title of that event, Simon, again?
Kubernetes Community Days, Pakistan. It's happening everywhere in the world. Like Kubernetes recently announced the people who don't come into the KubeCon, they can schedule the event in their local areas. So they can provide awareness to the people that working on that. So me and Aisha, we are all also in the Ortelius community. We can tag up to make some noise around the Ortelius. That's the work we are doing in the Ortelius space.
So we'll make sure we focus this around building a microservice catalog then, because that fits better with Kubernetes Pakistan.
Yes, absolutely.
So that takes us through July. So now the other topics that we don't, so this here, I think are 3 really important topics. But what I believe that we should probably do is be successful in getting February, March done before we try to do 2 a month. These are all important topics around the security conversation, and it's starting to have more and more impact. But that's okay. I think that the ones that we have are important. And we can add to this one, we could add something like adding microservice supply chain to CI CD. So that takes us off. So that gives us a little bit of a flavor there. So that, I think that looks pretty good for the first 6 months. The question will be, and I want you guys to look at your calendars now, especially Simon, Sasha, what date in February would you like to shoot for this first one?
So it's up to Sasha now. I have a very, very, very hectic calendar this year, but I will try to manage at the same time the call is happening. Today is 8 to 9 p.m. is a little flexible for me. So,
This time good for you, Sam? This kind of time now?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's good with me too. So it's a good time for me as well.
So
Yes,
do you think it's a good time for the audience?
yes, I believe. Mostly in Pakistan, it's been a very feasible time for audience to jump in. But the rest of them, they are starting the morning like you. Might be they are difficult, but we have a recording option is always available, so people can hop into that.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I would push to start a little later. Could we do it at 30 minutes from this time?
8:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
we want to make sure we incorporate anybody from at the
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
also fine with me.
yeah, because that makes it
Yes,
8. That would make it 8 o'clock in California time.
7:30.
That would make it like 6 o'clock my time, roughly.
Yeah, so if we
And
started it, yeah, if we did it,
Uh,
if we started at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Cool. It's a good time for me because then work is finished pretty much. Got no more people hacking me.
And then pick a date. I think Wednesdays are a good day, middle of the week.
Wednesday is nice. Huh?
Yes, we can go with that.
Okay, let's look to see a date in February then.
The brain is still fresh.
How
When you get
about
to Friday? brain's a
February
bit fried.
16th? How about February 16th?
Yes,
That
it's
sounds
free on
good.
my calendar.
Okay,
February 16th. Let me have a look there.
Trends podcast.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's
Now-
good.
Now, can we do this as a podcast and as a office hours, or should we hold office hours specifically for questions around Ortelius in particular? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think office hour is related to just Ortelius things. That
Okay.
would be a nice.
Okay, Trends podcast. And we still, is Ortelius beaming okay as the name?
Yes, good.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and save it.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to my t-shirt though. I saw a sneak peek the other day
Yes.
A
looking
t-shirt.
at Steve.
Steve's t-shirt is wearing
Yes.
the Ortelius t-shirt, and we are waiting for ours.
Yeah, we got to bug Siddharth about getting that order in.
Yes, yes, we do. Simon, if you could remember to bug Siddharth about that. I think I can bug him too, but I got to figure out how to get him paid. I think that's the biggest challenge is getting him paid.
We could do like a Venmo or a PayPal or something like that.
I would think so. Okay, so we have our first our first Beaming Ortelius then will be 11 a.m. Eastern, February 16th. And we have Sim and Sasha hosting since they're here. So that means we need to find a guest speaker that can speak on these topics.
Yes, I have those. I have those.
You have a
Like
guest speaker?
GitOps, I will find it like supply chain security. I can know the Dan Lawrence from the Six Store. He can able to talk to.
Yeah,
I will,
he's really hard to get in touch with. I try to get him to do a panel with us for DevOps.com. And
but I believe he can come to his. I have recorded 2 podcasts, my own podcast, the Cloud Native FM. He has 2 speeches on there. So I will try to catch. Hopefully he is able to join. If he's not able to join, then there are a few other from the supply chain security, like Matt Morey and Kim Lewandowski. They might be able to join.
Yeah,
and he will ask.
Yeah, Kim and Dan is who I try to get on a panel, and since they got their funding, they have been completely booked. They couldn't do it. So we need to. I think we need, and I feel like we need to find somebody who might have a little broader view of things. You know, it'd be really fun to get somebody like Dave Farley.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a new book coming out. Let me reach out to him.
Yes, absolutely. You will just tell me which one of the guest is feasible to us. I will try to connect with them on Twitter, or you just tell me so we can have those. They will love to appear on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who. You know, we just have to come up with some names, and we're going to have to do that for March too. We could probably do that internal, since it's about building a microservice catalog. I would say we'd just bring Steve on as the guest speaker. He is the right person, and then Sasha needs to cover this, I think. So we have to get somebody. We'd have to have. I would say we would do Karam and what am I missing?
Well, which one are you talking about? The
April one, Sasha to speak.
Oh, that would be the GitOps model. You probably want to bring in Brad McCoy, Amit.
Yeah, we'd have to. That's going to be harder. Oh yeah, because he can't do 11 in the morning. That's like at 3 in the morning his time.
Right. So that one we may want to flip it so it's a late afternoon one for the US time, which would put it in the morning for Brad.
Right. And Sasha, so we just need someone else to help host this, because Sasha could host it.
I'll have to get some practice from some clever questions to ask.
Yeah.
Tasha even can. Brad is a good.
Yeah, Brad could host it too.
Yes, Brad McKay.
Why don't we just do Sasha and Brad and Brad? That works, right?
Give it a go.
So let me do this. Let me just reach out to our general community. Let's try to start bringing in some of the people that we don't hear from. Let me send out an email that says, hey, we're going to do a trends to follow in 2022. Is there 2 or 3 people from the community who would like to talk about this for February? Maybe we have more than one person. And I'll send that out today, February 16th. We'll do this as a panel. Simon, Sasha to host it. And if we could get 2 people on that we could just have a discussion about it and come up with some questions, I think it would make a good one. And they shouldn't be more than, say, 20 minutes long.
Sounds like fun.
All right, well, we got an idea for February, March, and April. Steve, could you reach out to Brad and tell him that we'd like him to do a review in April? Just send him an email and see if, and maybe somebody else from his team, so there'd be 3 people.
And since it's a podcast, we could actually pre-record it too.
Yes, we can totally we do them live and then we record them, and then I use them for doing social networking.
Yeah.
So sorry, I have to drop off. So
Okay.
I will look at the calendar. I have another meeting. So
Okay,
we'll
thank you.
catch you. We'll catch you on the video.
Yep,
Okay.
okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Hey, Sasha, do you know if LinkedIn Live is working?
Don't know, to be honest.
I think it is, yeah.
I think the last, I think what I agree with Tracy. I think the last time I spoke to Sergio and then it was working out.
Okay. All right, just curious.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I would
I think
say
it was working.
Sergio and Karam could potentially be the host for this.
Yeah, because that falls into a good. So when it's Brad's morning, it's Sergio's evening, so it works out for that. Now, Karam is a little harder because it's a weird time zone difference.
Yes.
Lakshmi, do you know how many hours off you are from Australia?
I have the same time zone as Science, so
Okay.
I will have to check with Australia.
We'll just put Sergio in here as the host for now.
Yeah.
I know we can put Karam on this one.
Yeah.
So Sasha has February, and then he doesn't have it again until April. And then Sime has February, March. And Karam just has to do 1. That works for now.
Well, Karam could possibly do the captain with.
Yeah, I was gonna say Karam. And
See, Brian, he also said he'd be keen on speaking in the chat there. He had to leave.
okay. Oh,
I haven't
okay.
met Brian before.
Hey Steve, so April mostly I plan to immigrate to Canada soon. March I'm hoping to be there, so April I will mostly be in Canada.
Okay.
Actually, Brian Dawson is who we should have to do this right here. He will bring us a ton of people. Let's just do it right here. We're gonna do it. If Brian's willing to do it, guest speaker, Brian Dawson. Trends to follow in 2022. He'll be great at that. And Simon Sasha, you'll love, that'll be a fun one to do. So I think that one I'll send out to Brian and ask him if he would be willing to be our focus guest speaker for February. And I think that I don't think this one I think will be pretty easy to pull off if we just have Steve working with Karam and Sime. And then we have, I think this one's pretty easy. So and May's good. I bet I could get somebody from Kepton to talk on this one too.
Yeah, I think Brad knows a few folks from Kepton that he's kept in touch with. So
do we. So we could probably find somebody from the Kepton team. We should just put Utkarsh to discuss with someone from Kepton team. Okay. All right. I think that's a good beginning. I think that this one will just get started first as our podcast. Now, I don't know if we is there anything we need to do in terms of creating a intro for the podcast and a closing? Some kind of music or anything?
I don't remember.
I think I did one. I don't think it's that great, but I think I did I did one. Let me see.
Having one would be good, like the CD podcast
Yeah.
has a good one.
Yeah, I think, let me see if I can. I think I did do something. Where is our podcast? Didn't I post it
Under
here?
events, under events.
Oh, that's right. Let me just listen really quick because you guys won't be able to hear it. Yeah, there is one. Why don't you guys listen to that and tell me if it's gonna work? Go ahead and listen. Everybody listen to that. It's only like 15 seconds.
Where is it in the? Is there a link?
Yeah,
Within
go to
Just
the,
go to ortelius.io and then go to the events page. And any podcast we've done will be put up there.
This sounds good.
So listen to the first one, not the second one.
oh, the Hacktoberfest one.
Yeah, listen to the Hacktoberfest one.
Hey Tracy, something else also I wanted to check. Is the podcast like just available on YouTube? Like, is it on other streaming sites as well?
Our webcast, anything that we do, any videos we do, but I haven't posted anything. So this is hosted by Buzzsprout.
Mhm.
And I think with Buzzsprout, we probably can push it out in different ways. I've not looked at doing that though. If you want to take that on, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I can do that because people don't go to YouTube to like look up podcasts. Normally, it's either like the Apple's podcasting one or
Exactly.
Spotify or something like that.
Yeah, so because and Buzzsprout is set up for you to share it. And if you want access to Buzzsprout, I can give that to you. Just shoot me an email and I'll give you access to Buzzsprout so you can look at how we can push it out there.
Sure, I'll do that.
So did everybody listen to the Hacktoberfest one?
Nice radio voice.
You think that sounds okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
All right, great. Okay, then we're all good. We have an audio to begin it. I don't know if I have anything that I end it with, but I can quickly look through that. But I feel like we're really ready to go on pushing these podcasts then. I've got it built into the website. Lakshmi, if she takes it on to push those out, that's even better. And we should be pretty good.
Yeah, because
Sounds good.
looking at the Buzzsprout page, it looks like it will share out to like iHeartRadio, I tune in. So hopefully it may not be enabled. So we'll actually have to figure out if we have that enabled or not.
Yep, so here's our Buzzsprout page. This is what the website looks like. And here's our two.
I believe using the RSS feed, we should be able to share it to other platforms. I have not like deep dived into this, but earlier, like I had looked up podcasting and all the blogs said that using RSS, you should be able to stream it to the popular podcasting platforms.
Well, I will update this information. We don't have a Facebook. We do have Twitter and we do have a LinkedIn account and we do have YouTube. So I'll make sure this is updated.
And having a hashtag will also be good. Like in the podcast, we can mention that if you guys have any questions that you'd like us to discuss, use this hashtag so we can find those easily.
Oh, great idea. Cool.
Okay, I think we have a plan then. This has been a good productive conversation. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss? We're 40 minutes in and it's supposed to be a 30-minute call, so
All good.
all good.
Yep.
Any other thoughts?
No, I just
Going
got
That'd be
to,
amazing. Let's get him.
once?
I just got to touch base with you, Sasha, on the Helm chart and the GitOps diagram.
Yes. I must do that, Steve. Yeah, I gotta look at your calendar now.
All right, sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, thank you all.
Bye.
And Lakshmi, I'm so happy to see you.
I'm happy to be here.
Steve, I have one question actually. So
Yeah.
we need some document about merge conflict actually. So I have already opened one PR. So it's pending. So need some document for resolve the merge conflict.
Yep, I will touch base with you as soon as we drop off on this.
Okay.
So I'll connect up with you on Discord.
Okay.
Okay, all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.